I can't come to the phone right now. I'm working on my dream.
Hey. It's another episode of What's the Word Wednesdays, where we do our very best to try to motivate, encourage you, inspire you, lift you up, and give you some practical everyday nuggets that you can use for your business. We're getting ready to go in. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, it is I, Eric E. Clifton, and we have with us guest co-hosts, none other than, go ahead and introduce yourself, sir.
Roger the Dodger Lillard.
Roger
in the building.
Dodger Lillard in the building. Who do we have jumping on with us right now, live as we chit-chatting, sir?
Let's see, Cameron Dawson. What's happening, Cameron? All the way out in the Midwest.
Killer Cam.
Killer Cam in the building. LaCheryl. We got Shauna in the building. We got T. Harris in the building. Miss Danielle West making noise up in the, hold on, let me lean this way. In the bird. Yeah, Danielle, you know how we do. Right? No, Belinda is in the building. Don't hate, man. Congratulate, man. We back.
Hey, Miss Belinda Hub. We see you.
All right, Mr. Daryl Two Jackets Jenkins just chimed in, my brother.
Two Jackets, what's good in the hood, sir?
We got a good night tonight coming up, you all. I'm telling you right now, tag your team, get them online, get them in here, tag them up.
Vera, hey.
So we got, Sean is out in New York City's in the building tonight.
New York City's in the building.
New York. I didn't know I could do that, did you?
She said YouTube is not working. We're gonna have to check YouTube while we going zone in. Ladies and gentlemen, go ahead and hit her with some announcements really quick.
Okay, while you doing that. Okay, we got several announcements you all for tonight, so get a pen and paper. Make sure you write these announcements down. All right, so first and foremost, you all know to make sure that everybody chimes in every first and third Wednesday at 7:30 right here at What's the Word Wednesday in the Platinum Network group every first and third Wednesday. Also, every Sunday at 8 o'clock in the Platinum, in this group right here, Platinum Network, we got the game plan called by our fearless leader, Mr. Preston, and Amani Scott as well at 8 o'clock. What else we got? Oh, coming up, you all, this weekend. Actually, hold on. Right after this at 8:30, we have a Zoom presentation. Get with your upline sponsor or director. Let you know. Somebody can actually type it in the notes at the bottom.
If you want to, across the bottom get now. Platinum Wednesdays.
Platinum Wednesdays tonight at 8:30. Don't want to miss that, right? Get your prospects on there. Very simple way to work your business. If you're in the DMV this coming Saturday, we have our Super Saturday training. Miss Eileen Ross, 5-star director, right? She's is she a diamond ring wearer? What is she?
Yeah, one of them fancy rings.
Yeah, she's a 5-star director. So she got the Rolex watch. That's what she got. All right, she's gonna be here in the Rundle Mills at what is that? The Hotel Preserve. So tickets are still available. If you're in the DMV, get your tickets right now. As soon as we get off here, get your tickets for that. And I think that's all the. Well, of course we got Mr. Scott got promotions. You all make sure you keep intact on that because people gonna win some money this month. That's it for me. What you got?
Absolutely, absolutely. So listen, what I have is YouTube is still working. Miss Belinda Hub, she had mentioned that YouTube wasn't working. It's working, Miss Hub. You might just have to refresh your screen. For those of you all who don't know, we are also live right now on YouTube. So, you know, if you're having some difficulties, or you got team members that aren't even on Facebook, they can go to whatsthewordwednesday.com. Right now, live. We're live on YouTube. Again, this is for all of the team members who just aren't on Facebook, right? Some people don't want to be on Facebook. Everybody can access YouTube as long as you have internet access, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to jump on in what we're talking about on this evening. We're going to be discussing the system, right? We've talked about it before. We're going to share it again. It's a perfect opportunity. We got new team members and people who may not have heard us expound on our PS3 system in this industry of network marketing. Before we jump into the details of the PS3 system, I think it's important that Mr. Lillard and I share with you guys the importance of what we should be doing. We should be sharing this opportunity, not trying to sell it, right? Because if we're sharing this opportunity, ladies and gentlemen, I promise you it will lead to the PS3 process if you're sharing, right? If you're going out with the mindset of sharing. If you're trying to sell the opportunity, it means you're doing too much. You're talking too much, right? That's basically what I'm saying. We're going to be sharing with you this PS3 system to eliminate you from talking too much, because some of us just talk too much. I'm included, right? I'm one of those people that like talk a lot. So I need a system to help refine all of the stuff that I want to just throw up on a potential prospect, right? That is selling. We don't want to be doing that. That's the equivalent of knocking on your neighbor's door and asking them, you know, are they interested in whatever it is they didn't tell you they was interested in previously, right? Mr. Lillard, your thoughts on sharing versus selling. We are sharing, not selling. Go ahead.
What's really important, everyone, is you know, soon as you start speaking to someone, that's actually when the training starts. It starts right there, because once you start speaking to them about the business, whatever you're saying, whatever you're doing, if they decide to partner with you, they're gonna do what you do. This is all about duplication. So you want to make sure that you're sharing and not trying to sell them. All right, people don't want to be sold. Right? Let's help them make a decision on their own by sharing the opportunity, and we're going to go over the things to the PS3 on how to go through the process of helping them make a decision, a business decision to partner with us versus selling them. I mean, of course, yes, you know, we do sell travel, and we sell travel agencies. However, it doesn't have to feel like that. That's one of the reasons why most aren't talking to most, because you're afraid what you may or may not say could be wrong. So, but if you're sharing, you don't have to worry about saying the wrong thing. If you're sharing, that makes sense.
Well, yeah, because you should just be sharing with the thought of I'm trying to provide some information, right? I'm just trying to educate you, right? I'm not concerned with the outcome, because I'm just educating you. Like, hey, look, I got this water, you know, there's some water here. If you want it, if you do, if you don't, you don't, right? If I'm trying to sell you some water, now it's a little bit different. Now it's like, hey, man, I got some water. It's, you know, it's high in alkaline, and you know, I'm giving you all these what we find ourselves, Roger. We giving all these facts about the opportunity, and we just, you know what, we got a matrix, and we got a such and such, and we got a so and so, and we got all these talking points because we're trying to sell someone on this opportunity. It doesn't
Also,
to sit back and get comfortable.
Also, if you're saying too much and you start selling before you even share anything with them, guess what that brings up? It's called questions. So now you got to start answering questions, right? That it's your fault that you want to start hyping the business, right? We not hyping either, but you don't want to start explaining the business before they see something. They need to see something. and let what they see or what they hear create the questions for them and not you, because it's not up to you to work the system. The system's supposed to work for you, not you working the system.
Because otherwise you'll be the system, basically, right? Now you got to know the answer to these questions. Okay, so it's a 3x9 matrix. Is it compressed or not? And now you like, compressed? What that mean? Or I mean, how is the pay structure? Is it unilateral? I mean, what's going on? What you don't even want to put yourself in that position. Look, we can be right here all day. Let's jump into some of the meat and potatoes for the folks.
PS3, y'all write it down. PS3. If you're brand new, you want to write this down. PS3,
especially if you are brand new. You need to go through this process with us right here. Look, once I get it up on the screen, right? Boom, is it there?
Bingo.
It is there. Now we're on the screen right here is actually showing you or talking about the three-way call. So we matter of fact, before we jump into that part, let's break down the PS3 system before we get to the three-way call part. The PS3 system, ladies and gentlemen, the P stands for Pique Interest. Popping that question.
Pop the question.
Popping that question, right? Piquing interest. This is the first part of our system. You should be piquing people's interest. This doesn't mean that I am giving them a whole bunch of information. When we say pop the question, Mr. Lillard, what's the first question that you think that comes to mind?
Do you travel?
Do you travel? Pop the question. Do you travel? Pop a question, but one of the most easiest questions is to pop is, do you travel? Do you leisure travel? It doesn't matter what their answer is, ladies and gentlemen. We care less, because if you travel or you don't travel, I'm still going to show you a way that you can, travel more, right? Save on your trips, make income, whether they travel right now currently or not. So that P is popping the question. You gotta pop the question. Another question that we often pop, some of us are more experienced network marketers. We ask questions like this. Listen, if the money was right and it didn't interfere with your busy schedule, would you be open to looking at a big opportunity? I'm just popping the question. Did y'all hear that one? If the money was right and it didn't interfere with your busy schedule, would you be open to listening to or looking at a big opportunity?
You say taking a look at it.
I'm just trying to pique some interest. I'm not trying to sell them. I'm just trying to listen. I have something important I need to show you. It'll only take about 15 minutes of your time. You may or may not be interested. Can we connect? Old school, Mr. Lillard. You may or may not be interested. Can we connect? I just got something I gotta show you, right? I'm just trying to get some interest piqued, ladies and gentlemen. And now once we have successfully piqued the interest, no matter how we've done it, you can be sitting around the dinner table. Listen, if you ever want to know how you can save money on your next vacations, I got the answer for you. Now go ahead and pass me the salt and pepper. We talk about it later. I'm just trying to pique your interest, right? Once we have done that, the next thing we're going to do, Mr. Lillard, is share the plan.
I got a quick peeker real quick that everyone can use real quick, right? And you can use this belly to belly. That just means belly to belly means you're in front of a person. You're at a grocery store, gas station. You're at the mall, right? How many times you've been out and people are getting out right now because we have an endemic now versus the pandemic. So have you ever been into a grocery store somewhere? You started holding a conversation with somebody, right? So I'll say this to them on the back end. I'm not talking about the business in the front end because I'm building a rapport with them, relationship. So now I'm going to say to them, by the way, I own my own business. I'm looking for some sharp people like yourself to help me expand my business right here in the metropolitan area. So if you're in the city or wherever you are, help me expand my business. What do you do? Travel, right? Really? They'll say, really? Absolutely. So by the way, what's the best number to contact you at so I can provide you with some more information? I'm not explaining nothing. I need that phone number. We're peaking, or email address. Get one of the two. Now I got a prospect, and then I've piqued their interest. And guess what? I didn't do any selling.
Didn't do any selling. All we're doing is piquing interest. Ladies and gentlemen, is there anybody out there? Put in the comment section if you've been having issues or problems with just that initial piquing of the interest. How successful are you guys being with piquing interest? Understand, oftentimes, and this is where it's good to get to know people and talk about that form process, right? Because if I've gone through the form process and I know or I have an idea of a person's family, their occupation, their recreation, and what motivates them, money or not, if I understand these things, then now it will help me pique their interest, right? See, I know they're struggling with child care because we've had conversations about family. So because I know they're struggling with child care, I can say during dinner, hey, listen, I found a way where you can get that daycare paid for and not coming out of your personal, out of your job check. If you're ever interested in getting some more information on what I found, just let me know. Now pass me a chicken wing, right? You're just piquing their interest to get them to want to see more. Ladies and gentlemen, anybody have any questions on piquing the interest? You see anything in the chat, Mr. Lillard? We don't want to jump to the next one. In case anybody has any questions or concerns or issues with piquing interest. One of the things I do while you're looking, Mr. Lillard, when I'm out and about and I just want to randomly pique the interest of someone, I will say to a person, especially at the grocery store or the person waiting on taking my order somewhere, you look like you need a vacation. Right? That's my pique interest statement because it usually gets them to crack a smile or say something. Right? You look like you need a vacation. Could you use one? Right? That's one heck of a pique. We talking about travel. You look like you could use a vacation. Could you use one? Man, I sure could use a vacation. I mean, if you could go anywhere right now, where would you go? They're gonna tell you something, right? And it doesn't matter what they say. Listen, I'm going to show you how you can fill in the blank, right? Let's move on to share. Share is important. Sharing this plan, and you see we have in parentheses, use the tools, ladies and gentlemen. Use the tools. You're not supposed to be the tool. You want to use the tools, right? What are the daggone tools? The tools are the online video presentations, live presentations. What else, Mr. Lillard? We got tons of tools.
Absolutely. Of course, like you said, we have the online Zooms weekly, right? Of course, we have the videos. We got videos you can share. And of course, now, like I said, with the endemic here now we have live meetings now where you can invite people out to a local meeting. And these local meetings are beginning to pick up, y'all. Beginning to pick up. People are, people wanting to get out now. I had someone give me a call the other day, part of the team said they ready. They out of state, said, they ready to get moving again. So people are moving. So again, so you got all kinds of ways to Planet Marketing has their own webinar during the week, but of course, Team Platinum we have our own, but there's so many ways to share the plan. The key is sharing it.
Sharing the plan. Now, one thing I will certainly say, the key is in sharing it, right? Now, prior to sharing the plan, I always recommend, because you don't want to be spamming people, right? You don't want to just be giving them your goods and you have zero commitment. What do I mean? You don't want to share and give up your information and your resources without having set an appointment with the person that you're sharing this information with, right? If you scheduled something for them to look at, unless it's a live event that you might happen to be at, outside of that, you want to schedule an appointment. I'm going to send you this video that you take a look at. We need to already establish when we should be following up with you, right? You're going to watch it tonight at 10. What's a good time to follow up with you? 10:30 or 11, right? If tonight's too late, what works best for you tomorrow morning or tomorrow afternoon. I need to set an appointment with you now, just so I can have something on paper, ladies and gentlemen, in my calendar, right? You want to be filling up your calendar with these potential appointments to follow up with these people, because they're not going to just call you, right? So you need to set this up in the beginning. What's going to frustrate you is if you do the opposite. You send Joe Smo the video, and they say, yeah, I'll get to it. You have no commitment. You got no time, nothing in your calendar, and you give them what you think is reasonable enough time to have watched the video, and you call them tomorrow afternoon. They ghost you. They're not answering the phone.
Yeah, I'm looking at
for the rest of the week.
I'm looking in the group. Two Jacks, Mr. Daryl Jenkins said, must remain in control of that interaction. And so here's a way, and Eric kind of explained it a little bit, but I'm gonna share. What I do is once I've piqued somebody's interest, and now I'm ready to show them the plan. Now this is belly to belly. I always ask them for a business card. You have a business card? They say no. Then I'll ask, what's the best number to contact you at, so I can provide you more information. Once I get the phone number from them, right? I said, okay, great. I'm going to send you a video, right? It's powerful and life-changing. I said to everybody, it's powerful and life-changing. I'm going to send this video, right? Now, my next question to them is, what's a good time to contact you about the video, right? So I can add it to my calendar. I'm letting the prospect already know I'm professional. This way you're staying in control of the interaction, like Daryl said. I'm staying in control, because now if I get their phone number and I say I'm gonna send you a video, when they gonna watch it? When do you know they're gonna watch it? We're not waiting for people to call us back. We're setting up our calendar. In fact, this is how you know if you're gonna be doing some PS3s. If you go on your phone and look at your calendar, if you don't have callbacks in your calendar, you're probably not closing anybody. So now we're sharing, right? When's a good time to contact you back? Tonight, tomorrow, so that I can add this to my calendar. I keep a calendar, and I wait for that person. This is belly to belly. And I wait. First person speaks loses, right? So. And I'll lean in on them too with the phone in my matter of fact, my phone. I'll lean in on them a little bit. And I'm leaning in, I'm looking at my phone. They standing here, I'm leaning. Okay, what's the best number? I wait. Then they'll give me the number. Great. So again, you want to make sure that you don't end up dead and stinky, because that's what you'll be if you don't get a phone number and you don't get no time to contact them back. If you wait for somebody to contact you back, you're not operating the system properly. And we're teaching you all that tonight.
I love it. I love it. Share the plan. Use the tools. Another amazing tool that we have, ladies and gentlemen, is the mobile app, right? Our company has been blessed enough to put together a mobile app that will allow you to share video content to your potential prospects. But you got to use it. You got to get in the habit of using it. Excuse me. If you have the mobile app and you're not sending out 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 videos a week, then what are we doing? Why do we have the app? We need to be looking for people to send this information to. So that says to me, if I got the app and I haven't even sent one video out, hopefully we're using something else, right? Because we do have tons of tools, but I'm recommending using that app. The app will help you with your business. Any questions on sharing the information? Y'all can put a question in if you got any questions. Anybody struggling with how to properly share? Maybe you're struggling with your transition on going from piquing interest to sharing the information, but we just gave you some tips on how to do that transition. But any questions or concerns on sharing this information? It's pretty simple. At the end of the day, you don't have to be the one doing it, unless here's one time you will be the tool, so to speak, is if you're doing a one-on-one or one-on-two, where you done decided I'm gonna share this information right here up close and personal with the person that's my prospect. Maybe you open up your laptop, a computer or whatever, and you hit the play button on a video right in front of them. or you pull out the slideshow presentation and you walk them through the slides because you can read everything's on the screen, right? You don't have to be a professional presenter. You need to be able to read what's on the screen. And you say that stuff, you have now shared the information right there in front of them. So even if you've done a one-on-one, two-on-one, whether online or offline, that's still sharing the information. And you are still going to need to do what we call some third-party validation, right? This is key, major key right here, as some rapper would say. Three-way calls, in other words, but third-party validation, in essence, is what the three-way call is. And this part of the system is crucial because it takes you out of the picture, which is the major part of the duplication process within this business. How do I get me, the guy who's the former level 4 communications technician, aka the cable guy, how do I get me out of the picture so you're not looking at me like the cable guy and I'm over here talking about I'm a professional travel consultant? I take myself out of the picture by using a third party like Mr. Lillard to be the one, the expert, to explain all of this information. That process, ladies and gentlemen, is very duplicatable. Mr. Lillard, go ahead and break down the three-way call thing right here.
Well, I want to touch on something. It's one word you said that is so vital to everybody's business, and this is why I highly recommend to apply what we're sharing with you. If you do it this way, and it might be a little uncomfortable at first, but after you do it several times, you'll understand why. Because if you plan on building a network with Planet Marketing, it's all about duplication. I'm telling you, what you do now, your team will do later. So let's talk about three-way calls. As you all see on the screen now, we have you, of course, three-way connection call, and edification is vital in this industry and a three-way call. But you have you, then you have your prospect, where it says the trust comes in right here. Then from the prospect to the expert is respect. So when you're doing a three-way call, there has to be edification to the prospect. Yeah, if y'all following me right now. So it goes like this. First and foremost, before you do a three-way call, now keep in mind, you already have a time set up after you done shared the opportunity already. You got a time to call them back about the video. So whatever date that and time that is, you want to make sure that you get in contact with the expert prior to calling the prospect. That is important because you don't want to call the expert and they might be at a grocery store in line. They might be at the park with the kids. The expert could be not busy, not available. So you want to make sure, and I'm going to say at least within 24 hours, right? At least within 24 hours, and make sure that they're available for that three-way call. And guess what, you all? We're going to be available because the phones ain't ringing enough for the three-way call. So we'll be available, but the key is getting in contact with the expert before you do the three-way call.
Definitely a major key. Also, another major key is that it went right in the beginning where it says trust via relationship. Ladies and gentlemen, people do business with people they know, like, and trust. So a part of your job in a short time span is to try to develop some level of rapport with the prospect, unless you already know them. You want to try to develop some level of rapport, and you do that by asking questions, right? Going through that form process, family, occupation, recreation, and motivation. You're asking questions, getting to know who that prospect is, what they like, what they don't like, especially after they've watched some information and you find out what they liked most about the opportunity or the video, the content that they saw. You need all this information so you can give it to the expert. It helps the expert design the conversation that he's going to have with that person. That's pretty important. The more ammunition that we have when we're speaking with your prospect will help us paint the picture for them during that process. And as Mr. Lillard was talking about, the better your job of edification, the better your chances of the prospect actually listening and paying attention to the expert once you get them on the phone. Mr. Lillard, give us your favorite examples of edifying the expert.
The expert, you call them by their last name, prospect by their first name always. That's part of edification. So it'll sound like I would say, Mr. Clifton, this is James. James, this is Mr. Clifton. Because again, he's the expert. And so guess what? He's also helping me. So I got a lot of respect for him. So they need to see, the prospect needs to see that I respect him or her. I respect their time that they're spending helping me answer the prospect's questions. And so so that's one of the things that I use. But go ask me that question again, because I got off track. I know I did.
No, we were just talking about your method of edification.
Oh, edification.
I know we all the 4 main points that we all touch on.
Absolutely. So Mr. Clifton loves to help people. He knows 110% of the business. He loves to have fun, right? And what's the last one? He loves to have fun, and he knows this. Say 110%.
Yeah, you left out family man or family.
Oh no. He knows 110% of the business. Also, he's made a significant amount of income in a short period of time, y'all. So those are the 4 things, but you need to know that. So we want to write that down. Loves to help people. Knows 110% of the business. He loves to have fun. Got corny jokes, and he makes a significant amount of income in a short period of time. So he's making money. Those are the 4.
Let him know that one. So that's a great way to edify the expert, right? Creating or establishing the respect level, right? The opposite is obviously de-edifying the expert, right? Say, hey, yo, Roger, this is my man, Mr. Scott right here. This is my man P. Scott. P. Scott, this is Roger, right? So if I did an introduction like this, this is my man. We go way back from uptown together. Let's go ahead, P. Scott. Tell him everything. If I do an edification like that, then now your prospect is sitting here like, well, this just his man, P. Scott, right? This isn't we on the same level, right? Like I don't have to stand up when he enters the room. This is just another regular person, it will show itself in the conversation, right? Because if you just my man, Mr. Lillard, my prospect looking at you like, okay, well, y'all on the same type of level. Now your prospect is interrupting your expert. He cutting them off,
putting you on hold, not coming back.
Putting you on hold, not coming back. Well, I mean, none of this is important, right? Because we haven't created that image in our prospect's mind. I'm like, listen, he walks on water and glows in the dark, right? We got to edify him like this. He making Bill Gates and Warren Buffett type money moves, right? You want to listen to him like the Hutton guy, right? What's his name? Huffin. When he speaks, they listen.
E.F. Hutton.
E.F. Hutton. Yeah, you want an E.F. Hutton type of edification. When he speaks or she speaks, they listen. And that happens because you've done the edification, right?
I mean, you don't want to build them up so much that they're scared to get on the phone with them. And so I always lead in and I'll say, listen, my business partner, Mr. Clifton, this gentleman, I mean, he's helping me out. He's coaching me. He's mentoring me. He's fun to be around, right? So he loves to help people, loves to have fun. We travel together, right? Knows 110% of the business. And he's made a significant amount of income in a short period of time. He's going to answer any questions that you may have. So I highly recommend, I always throw that in there, I highly recommend let him answer the question because I don't want to mess it up for you. I don't want to mess it up for you because, I just want to make sure I'm just getting started, right? Even if you've been around a while, you still want to let them know that, my business partner is going to answer any questions that you may have.
Absolutely.
I see Daryl here. Can't forget the income as possible as people are looking for those who has had success. Absolutely. And Danielle laughing. They laughing at me on here, man. I mean, I can have a brain fart every now and then.
Everybody's entitled to one or two brain farts, you know.
Yeah, we have a little brain poop every now and then.
Nothing absolutely wrong with that. Now let's go back to this here screen real quick. See if we can help break some things down on these three-way calls. Check to see if the expert is available. You see that, Mr. Lillard? Is it there?
I see. You know, I'm getting up in age, man. My eyes are a little.
Yeah, look, it made this thing kind of tiny here. Check to see if the expert is available, ladies and gentlemen, prior to making your three-way call. The last thing that you want to do is call your expert, your upline, whoever's going to be doing a three-way call for you. You haven't checked to see if they're available, and you just randomly call them while they're at home watching, I don't know, Pokemon with the kids, right? Or whatever the kids, Dragon Ball Z, whatever they watch. But my point is they're busy, and you call them right in the middle of that with your prospect on the line, which happens often. Hey, Mr. Clifton, I got Keith right here. You got the radio blasting, you know, some Eminem or some Tupac or some old school crap, and Keith is right there listening to whatever you're listening to. You don't want to set your experts up like that. We had just talked about properly edifying the expert, right, with those four different pinpoints. Introduce the expert with the last name and first name. We went over that a second ago as well. The importance behind that, obviously, establishing that respect level. Now, this doesn't mean if you got Bishop so-and-so and Reverend Dr. such and such, or, you know, someone that has an esteemed titles and some letters before their name, you can properly introduce them, not by using their first name, because it might be someone you already highly respect. You know, like maybe it's your pastor that you're introducing and doing a three-way call. So that in those situations, obviously that's different. But if it's your cousin, you better use your cousin's first name. I don't know if you guys can see that. It's in red. Probably should have changed the color. It says, don't say anything. Press the mute button on your phone. We're going to have to pause right here for a second, Mr. Lillard. It says, after you have made the introduction during this three-way call, this third-party validation, hit the mute button on your phone. Mr. Lillard, tell the people why they want to hit the mute button.
Well, first and foremost, you don't want any distractions while the expert is listening to the prospect. Because keep in mind, we're listening to, we're asking pertinent questions, and then we're listening to the question so we can answer them properly, right? So if you are not on mute and you got in the kitchen, water running, pans click clacking, and so I can't hear the prospect ask the questions. I mean, I've done three-way calls before, and this is in the past, and the mentor hung the phone up because it was just he couldn't hear. But at the end of the day, that didn't happen a lot, but you know, a couple of times that was it. That was back in the 90s. But anyway, so you want to make sure the most important reason is because you want to be listening yourself and taking notes. You want to be taking notes because guess what? You're going to be doing three ways for your team. And you know something, Mr. Scott, Mr. Eric Clifton, and other directors, the secret sauce to building a network is the three-way call. People say, well, how are they building so fast? Because they're talking to more people and they're doing more three-way calls. The best way to learn this business is to do a three-way call because we have to answer all the questions. We have to overcome all the objections. Mr. Scott is Houdini on the phone. Yep, I said it, Mr. Scott. I'm telling y'all, listen, and I know he doesn't mind me sharing this, but, you know, I think 15 years ago, I was sharing with him how to do a three-way, but he's James Brown and I'm Kate Maceo. I don't mind about that. I don't care about that. But I'm telling you right now, you want to get myself, Eric Clifton, and Mr. Scott on your three-way call so we can close them. Listen, by the time I'm finished answering the questions and they have objections, I don't leave no stones unturned when I do a three-way call. In fact, ain't nothing but skin and bone left when they finish coming up with the objections. I leave them like you're either going to say, okay, when do I sign up? Or we're going to find out, can we get some referrals from you? So, Mr. Eric Clifton, to my left, machine overcoming objections. And guess what? You can't hear the objections and learn how to utilize those objections for yourself until you do a three-way call. Everyone's out here trying to guess how to do this. But if you do the three-way call, you'll learn how to answer questions. You'll learn how to overcome the objections. You're going to learn some stuff about travel because we got to answer those questions. You're going to learn some stuff about building a network if you do the three-way call.
I agree. Now, let me say this. Myself, Mr. Lillard, Mr. Scott, we're not the only ones that you should do your three-way calls with, right? You can do your three-way call with a silver builder if they understand the foundational principles of what we do, right? A gold builder, your sponsor, anybody that can be edified and answer these objections can do a three-way call. The concept is you need to understand the importance of the third-party validation because it's duplicatable, right? A new person doesn't want to think that they got to do all the talking that you did to get them in the business. You mean tell me I can do all that? I got to know all that? I got to be able to answer all them questions? Man, I ain't got that much time in the day. But how many people can send out a video, send a text message, make a three-way phone call and hit the mute button, go make yourself a ham sandwich or something.
And listen.
We can do that.
And I shared something with Mr. Clifton earlier before we jumped on here. You know, if everybody watched, how many people we got on here tonight? 27 people, might be a little more than that. Listen to this, y'all. There was a movie called Hitch, right? And the movie is about Will Smith was teaching people how to fall in love and how to stay, get someone to you've seen the movie if you've seen it. If you haven't, you should watch it. But anyway, Will Smith was trying to teach this gentleman how to dance. He didn't know how to dance. So, but when he danced himself, it was it was crazy, right? So he told him to keep it right here, two-step. That's it right here. Don't step outside this. If everyone watching this tonight would stay right here in this lane, I promise you, if you do enough of these three-way calls, you will see your business go in the next 12 months from here to whatever goals or levels you want to hit in this company.
I love it. Hey, Roger, you didn't move anywhere on your two-step. You was like, I
did the shoulders, so I had to do.
Yeah, that's. So listen, ladies and gentlemen, the third-party validation also can be done online, right? You can do third-party validation inside of some messaging communication, however tool you guys use, whether it be what's the WhatsApp. It could be WhatsApp. It could be Facebook Messenger. It could be whatever you're using where you can bring in another person on the conversation. And we've done that inside of like Facebook Messenger. So if I'm talking back and forth to somebody I just met and I'm taking them through the same process, maybe I would love to get them offline and get the phone number, but maybe I haven't gotten the phone number yet. And we're dialoguing back and forth via Messenger. And then I add, just like in the third party, on the three-way call, now I'm introducing them to whoever my expert is via Messenger and allow that person to take over the conversation. We're not even on the phone. It's still third-party validation. That makes sense?
I'm telling you all, I know you all see people in the Platinum Network group signing up. Like it's popping. It's starting to pop. But I bet you it's a high 90%. It's a high 90% of those folks that just signed somebody up, they did a three-way call. So next, the expert is on the phone with you, taking care of your
three-way call, or whether it's online or not, what they're going to be doing is leading and guiding your prospect to the next position, the next point, the next whatever, right? That's their job. So whether it's leading them to sign up, leading them to an event, leading them to the next follow-up, we're going to do that part. It's your job to notate it in your calendar. We're the expert. We're probably walking around while we're on the phone talking and multitasking. We're not going to pull out our calendar to remind you to call Miss Kim to sign her up next week or follow up and answer some more questions or so on and so forth. You need to put it in your calendar. So you should hit the mute button, be listening, have your calendar out. Also taking notes, as Mr. Lillard said. Thank the expert when the call is over, ladies and gentlemen. Anything you want to say on that one, Mr. Lillard?
Absolutely. Thank the expert first, right? Thank you, Mr. Clifton. I know you're busy, sir. I appreciate your time. And then Mr. Clifton will say, no problem at all. I thank both of you all for your time. But make sure you thank the expert first. Also, I don't know if you got this in here. You probably do. I'll wait because I see you leading up to
it. So this next one. After that, you thank them. You confirm any follow-up appointments, right? We're confirming the follow-up appointment. So the expert has set up your appointment with your prospect next Wednesday at 12 o'clock, right? So listen, Johnny, next Wednesday at 12 o'clock, we'll be following you up. I'm do a follow-up call with you, right? Boom. I'm going to repeat that 2 or 3 times. Okay, man, just one more time, just to be clear, next Thursday or next Wednesday at 12 o'clock. Matter of fact, Lord forbid it be any catastrophic event, but outside of any catastrophic event happening, do you foresee anything stopping you from meeting or taking this appointment next Wednesday at 12 o'clock? Typically, they will be like, nah, ain't nothing going to stop me from having this appointment next Wednesday at 12 o'clock. Well, great. Next Wednesday at 12 o'clock, then I'm following up and confirming over and over again, maybe 2 or 3 times.
And I started doing something a few years back. So once I get the information from them on a day and a time, I take the night before and text them confirming our appointment for the next day as a reminder, because people get busy. That's just something you might want to add into your three-way call as well. I'll text them the night before, say just to get a hello or whatever. I'm going to communicate with them the night before, and make sure it's not too late, of course. But you want to text the night before you shut down. Say, hey, listen, I'm following up with you, text you to confirm our appointment for tomorrow.
Thanks.
Doctors do it all the time.
Yeah, they do. Now, one of the most, if there was a top 3, this would be in the top 3. No, I mean, however you decide to put it. But this is one of the most important things to do during this three-way call process. Top 3, get off the phone when the three-way call is over, ladies and gentlemen. Get off the phone. Why do you need to get off the phone? Because they're going to ask you some more questions, right? Why should you get off the phone? Because if you could answer the questions, there wouldn't have been a need for a three-way call in the first place. You need to get off the phone. Mr. Lillard, go ahead. I know you got 2, 3 get off the phone stories. Go ahead and let the people know why it is important that they get off of the phone.
Yeah, real quick before I jump in there. And I'm glad Mr. Scott just hit me up and he said, don't forget to let them know it's Eastern Standard Time, because you may be talking to somebody in California, the Texas somewhere. Make sure you let them know it's Eastern Standard Time. The reason why you want to get off the phone, everybody, is because if you don't get off that phone after you get the date and time, they're gonna start asking more questions. And now guess what you gotta do? Call us back. So you definitely want to get off the phone. And then if you stay on the phone, what happens is you start to get into what is called convince mode. And what did we say about that? Professionals sort and amateurs convince. So we're not gonna act like no amateurs, y'all. We're gonna be professionals.
Give them an
And guess
example of
what?
what convince mode sounds like.
Convince mode, what does it sound like? The gentleman you just talked to, I'm telling you, man, he doing 15, 20,000 a month. I'm telling you, this thing, I'm telling you, it's changing lives. I mean, if you don't see this, something wrong with you. Now you might be talking to somebody you know, but but at the end of the day, but if it's not somebody you know, you just want to get off the phone so you can. In fact, you want them to see that you're busy, that you got another prospect to call. See, remember I said at the beginning, at the top of the training tonight, I said, the way you start is when the training starts for them, because now it's all about duplication. So everything that you do from the beginning of meeting somebody to the end of that three-way call, they're going to duplicate what you do. They're going to see what you do, and so stay consistent with that. Stay consistent with what we're teaching.
Absolutely. Now, look, I will say, because that there are some cases, Mr. Lillard, where this particular process is not needed, it's not necessary, and so your new recruit, your new team member won't have experienced this particular process, and so they're not even going to understand this part of the duplication. And the reason is because they were a one from the beginning, right? Maybe the information that was provided was just enough. You caught them at the right time, and I don't need to see no more. I'm ready to get started now. No need to waste anybody's time with doing the three-way call. I've seen some people still want to do the three-way call, and then we get on the phone well, what did you like most about what you saw? Well, I did everything. I'm ready to get started right now.
They was ready to sign up 3 days ago.
Sign them up first. Then
That's
your
questions
three-way
later.
call is now a welcome call instead of a three-way call. We're welcoming you, right? And then the other occasions are when maybe a person has some basic questions that need to be asked or answered. You should be equipped, even if you're brand new. You should be equipped to answer the basic questions. Well, how much is it going to cost me? Well, that's $200. Okay, I'm ready right now, right? So sometimes you can answer some basic questions on your own, and a person signs right on up. Well, those are exceptions to the rule.
Here's a basic transition during a three-way call. When you contact the prospect back, right? They answer the phone. Hello, how you doing? Small talk for about 3 or 4 seconds, whatever. Right? I'm giving you a call back to follow with you to answer any questions you may have. Excuse me, scratch that. I'm contacting you back. Your first question to them, a lot of you already know this. What did you like most about what you saw? What you like most? They're going to tell you what they like most. Then you mirror match. If they say they like to travel, guess what? And when I took a look at this, I saw that I could travel as a merchant versus a consumer. That made sense to me. So they'll say, absolutely. Second question is going to be, do you see an opportunity for yourself? Right there, what's going to happen is they're going to either say, if they say yes, you're going to say, when do you see yourself getting started? Right now or next week, right? So now, most of the time, I'm going to say probably a high 85, 90% of the time, when you say, when do you see yourself getting started, right? No, do you see an opportunity for yourself? I'm sorry. You see an opportunity for yourself. They're going to say, well, I got some questions. That's when you do the three-way call. Real simple. Just keep it simple, y'all. Keep it simple.
Keep it simple. So listen, we're going to spend the last couple minutes on the last part of this PS3 system. Ladies and gentlemen, the last and final part of this PS3 system is follow-up. Fortune is in the follow-up. And we don't have to spend 3 days on this right here. The fortune is in the follow-up. For people, I don't care if you piqued their interest and they was all the way interested and told you they would sign up tomorrow. The fortune is in the follow-up. This is your business. People have busy lives. Things come up. Life happens. So you got to follow up, right? You have to follow up.
It's fortunate.
If they reached out to you first, you have to follow up. The reason why Mr. Lillard and I get phone numbers first before providing information is simple. It is because I know 100% of the time, If I have your phone number, I'm calling you. It's my business 100% of the time. However, on the flip side, there's about a 50% chance or less if you have my number that you would call me. This means it's on me. The fortunates in the follow-up. You got people who have seen your information. You sent them videos. They've been to live presentations. They've done online presentations, whatever the case may be. You have to follow up with them. How long is the question someone just asked? You
I got
follow
it.
up with them until somebody says or that person says, don't call me no more. You follow up with them for a lifetime.
How long? Let me tackle that real quick. We got 4 minutes. Okay. The person that said how long, this is how long. Quick story, real quick one. Before we partnered with Planet Marketing, the CEO and founder of Planet Marketing, Donald Bradley, called Mr. Scott once a month for a year. So once we partnered, Mr. Scott created a follow-up system. And here it is. You ready? Here it is. This is the follow-up system. This is how long. You do it once a week for a month. So if you contact them back next week, they don't answer, call them back the next week. So once a week for a month. Then you're going to call them once a month for a year. Then twice a year. And here's why. If you stop calling that person, you done shared it with them, you piqued their interest, you shared it with them, you did a three-way call. Why stop calling? If they don't tell you no emphatically, like I ain't doing this, I don't want to do it, leave me alone. If they don't say that, you want to build a relationship with them, follow up with them once a week for a month, once a month for a year, then twice a year. Because you don't want to do all the work and then you stop calling them, then they sign up with somebody else because you didn't continue to contact them.
Facts. At the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, less than 2% of people get started with your opportunity the first time that you share it with them. Less than 2% of people will take advantage of anything you share with them for the very first time. It is somewhere between the 5th and the 12th exposure to what you have to offer is when a person makes a decision. Somewhere between the 5th and 12th exposure. But more than half of sales professionals never make it past the second follow-up. Think about that. More than half of sales professionals don't make it to the second or third follow-up, but more than 80% of all of the sales are made between the 5th and 12th follow-up. So math says follow up, ladies and gentlemen. That's what we're saying, ladies and gentlemen. Follow up, right?
And this is why you have to talk to multiple people daily. In the book Go Pro says you got to meet 2 new people daily. It's easy to do on Facebook, Instagram, when you're out and about. I mean, if you're going to be a professional network marketer, the three-way call is important to your business, right?
Absolutely.
It's essential to your business. Working on that vocabulary. It's getting tight, isn't it? So listen, you all, you got to do the three-way call, and you got to follow up. It's fortune in it. And last but not least, because we're almost done, you have to have the first letter in platinum, the letter P. You got to have patience. Got to have that.
You gotta have patience. I love it. I love it. So listen, ladies and gentlemen, we are pretty much done with tonight's information. You guys know that you can reach us here each and every first and third Wednesdays. We're live in the Platinum Network group. We're also live on YouTube. What's the Word Wednesdays.com. If you haven't already subscribed to that page, do so now. Go to What's the Word Wednesday.com and subscribe to our page, right? We're dropping these nuggets on y'all every first and third Wednesdays. Looking forward to seeing you guys on tonight's call at 8:30. In just a couple of minutes, you'll be able to get on it right now, ladies and gentlemen. We appreciate each and every one of you and all that you do. That is it. That's all. We are pretty much done.